जो आता है every Monday 3:30 to 4 o'clock के बीच में, जिसमें हमारे साथ जुड़ते हैं गौतम कपूर, जो यहाँ पर आके आपको एस्ट्रोलॉजी के बारे में बताते हैं. वो बताते हैं आपको कि कैसे आप उनकी वेबसाइट में जा सकते हैं. You can find out more about him, feed in the information and contact him if you want to reach out to him, because he is a very non-conventional astrologer, as I always say, because he is a Vedic and a horror astrologer and काफी सालों से करते आए हो ये. And if you want to reach out again, you can go to starsandastrology.com. You can also go and check Facebook या YouTube, जो उन्होंने अभी भी शुरू किया है. So YouTube में he keeps posting a lot of things. Even on Instagram he keeps posting about all the politician, and recently I remember was Bernie Sanders, where he posted all the charts जो subscriber ने इनको दिए थे उसके date of birth. So do go and check that out. And also if you want to download the app, आप कर सकते हो मोबाइल ऐप से Google Play पे या फिर Apple App Store पे, जहाँ भी आपको convenient लगे. Just remember stars and astrology.com, or you can remember his email, which is info@starsandastrology.com, or call him up at 925-413-6912. So आज हम बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण सब्जेक्ट पे बात करने वाले हैं. So we will be talking, what is that subject? You must have heard about it, but we will find out from find out from horse's mouth. As
you can call him his or him, whatever works for you.
But अगर अभी उसको सवाल है फिलहाल, तो आप हमारे स्टूडियो पे कॉल कर सकते हैं, जो है 510-657-1170, and you can talk to Gautam right here, right now, live till 4 o'clock. Again, our studio number is 510-657-1170. How are you doing, Gautam?
Doing good. Good afternoon to you, Isha. You look happy today.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm always happy.
Well, I see you with the Mondays blues sometimes, so I can imagine. Sometimes you're like, oh no, it's Monday all over again, and So I know people have already started calling in.
Yes.
We're going to probably ask them to just stay on hold for a couple of minutes. I am going to talk about some very important things today, and I am actually compelled. I feel it's prudent that I discuss this with my listeners. But before that, first let me thank my wonderful sponsors, Sunny Chopra, who is the CEO of ChopraFinancialServices.com. He provides auto and home and life insurance to clients in and around Bay Area, and I believe California too. And also my good friend, not to say that Sunny's not my good friend, Sanjay Mehra, who is the CEO of lowfaretravel.com, and they provide exciting fares to India. Good time to buy before the summer rush. Well, I guess the summer rush is already over there, right? People have already done their planning and all of that. So lowfaretravel.com, please reach out to them. Mention that you heard them on this radio show, and also if you reach out to Sunny Chopra, let him know that you heard about him on this radio show. So the show's called Stars and Astrology. I am really impressed because you actually said that I posted a video of Bernie Sanders, which I did yesterday.
There you go. I'm so
How did you know that?
I know everything, dude.
Okay, you gotta stop stalking me. And whatever I know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I saw that one of your subscribers actually sent you his both details.
Yes. By the way, you should say that I've got better things in life to do than stalk a Vedic astrologer, right?
I was just being nice.
You were just being nice to me? All right, perfect. But today I am going to talk about a very, very important topic. And I feel it's important because I am going to blow the lid out of this. I'm going to talk about Manglik Dosha. And the reason I want to do it, I had a brother and sister reach out to me who'd been living under the cloud and the fear of being Mangliks and carrying the associated dosha. So what do the scriptures offer? What do they really have? I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you one thing. There is not a single astrologer on this planet who will come and debate and discuss this with me.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
What do you mean?
Because everything that I'm going to say is exactly the way it is from our scriptures. From 30 years of experience doing this day in and day out, what does it mean? Is there really a dosha to begin with? So I'm going to talk that. I know this person has been waiting. Let's take this call and then we're going to jump into what Manglik Dosha is.
All right. Hi sir, welcome to the show. आप जिसके लिए सवाल पूछ रहे हैं उनका date of birth बताएं.
1957, December 22nd. Time bole, please. 0025. Okay, and place. Surat. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir. बताएं क्या सवाल आए हैं?
Wow, that is.
Very, very, very specific.
Let me say this. I'm trying to think from a career perspective. I would say you should do something more related to finance. And I'm trying to think, yes, that is the right career. This is just a first quick glance, actually. This is my advice to you. Now, insurance agent, and what was the other thing?
Loan officer.
The loan officer? Well, loan officer sounds more like a finance thing, actually. So I see more success on the finance side. That's what I suggest. Yeah, that is my recommendation to you. Again, these are loaded questions. I don't know how much justice I can do in 45 seconds, but I always endeavor, I always throw the disclaimer. But yes, my first glance, it is going to work out well for you from a finance perspective. All right? Okay, you're welcome. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much for calling in. किसी और को भी सवाल पूछने तो कॉल कर सकते हैं 510-657-1170.
So, a couple of things I do want to mention before I go to the Manglik Dosha. One, people ask me that because all my analysis, everything that I put, I do a lot of celebrities, right? And I've been requested to do for Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, not yet for Bernie Sanders. I've been asked to do for Eric Swalwell.
Why not? You should do. I'm asking you to do it.
No, you do, but people ask me, do you just do for celebrities or do you do for regular people, so to say, also? So I'm like, listen, I do it for everyone. People come to me with all sorts of questions, finance, job, relationship, health, Manglik Dosha, all of those things, right? Mercury retrograde, Rahu transiting. What does that mean? Is my life going to turn upside down? Whatever it is, right? I do want to specialize, and I constantly research with medical astrology. So I've been helping people with fibromyalgia, colon cancer, stomach issues for females, like I spoke about, menstrual issues and things like that, right? Even bloating of feet, things like that. You remember Amy, who came on the show, right? She had that condition with her feet where it would go numb and used to be shooting pain. She did the right mantras. She's 90% better. 90% better. So even women struggling with UTI issues or men struggling with intimacy issues, low testosterone, all of these things, believe it or not, medical astrology can help with this. Yeah, I'm not saying make your first call to me, but let me supplement and show you where I do warn in 6 to 7 months I am going to come out with a case openly where doctors have tried and failed for 10 years.
Okay.
And I'm going to show success with it using only medical astrology.
Okay. Okay, we'll come.
They're going to come to that studio. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Manglik Dosha. And the reason why I bring this topic up is because I had a brother and sister both living under the cloud, or the cloud of fear, so to say, because both of them were pronounced Mangliks or whatever it is. So what is Manglik, and we'll forget about the dosha, what does Manglik mean? So when the placement of Mars, so Mars by itself in all our scriptures is a naturally malefic planet or a naturally negative planet. And because of that connotation, it is said that when Mars is placed in the first house, which is your ascendant, the fourth house, which is for your mother, domestic happiness, seventh house, eighth house, as well as the 12th house, it's constitution or considered as Manglik Dosha. And why they do it? Because it's a natural malefic and it sits in the first house, affects you, it affects your temperament, looks at the seventh house, affects your marriage. Sitting in the fourth house, it reflects your domestic happiness. It looks at the seventh house, which is the house of marriage. Sitting in the eighth, looks at the second house, which is extension to family. Sitting in the 12th is more around termination of relationship and all of these things. So they've given it a automatic negative connotation that if you've got Mars sitting in this, you've got Manglik Dosha. Now, let me say this unequivocally and very categorically. The Bible, Sage Parashar, who wrote and gave us this beautiful science of Vedic astrology, and the science actually, there is actually no mention of Manglik Dosha. However, different schools of thought and all of those, they've alluded to it, they've brought it up in some script. But however, the Bible has no mention of it.
The Bible, you mean?
Sage Parashar, the original. The one who introduced astrology to every other author, whether it's the Lal Kitab or Gemini or other scriptures or whatever it is. There is actually no mention of this. Now, I do want to say one thing. Is this really true? So this is what my research is. First off, again, let me just go back. Now, a lot of those scriptures that talk about Manglik Dosha, I'll come back to my assessment. A lot of them talk about Manglik Dosha. What they don't bring up, and what 99.95% astrologers do not know, is that Manglik Dosha is cancelled in numerous circumstances.
Yeah.
If you've got a benefic Saturn, even, which is supposed to be a naturally malefic planet, aspecting Mars, if you've got a benefic Jupiter, if you've got a benefic Venus, all looking at Mars, the dosha is actually cancelled. And this is in the same school of thought which actually introduced the Manglik Dosha. Then the second thing is that Mars, let's take the example of Sachin Tendulkar.
Mm-hmm.
Sachin Tendulkar is a Cancer ascendant, 10th house for the house of profession, placed in the 7th house. It is really well placed in his case. And
Yeah.
Mars itself is a planet of courage, because Mars equates to Mangal, who was the commander of the army of the Devs. So that is why Mars is associated with courage, valor, and all of these things. And when
How
Mars
brave
is
is
well
the
placed,
person?
huh?
You mean like how brave?
Oh, yeah, it gives
Right.
courage. That's the
Ah.
one trait of Mars, actually. Now, even if you see a lot of doctors, and I see doctors who do not have Mars sitting in the 10th house, which is the house of profession, but in the 4th house, these people are making very good surgeons. Remember, it takes courage to be a surgeon too.
Oh, yeah.
It takes plenty guts to do all of that.
Yeah.
And they're like hardcore Manglik, so to say, but look at the good stuff they're doing, right? Because it's benefic, it's giving all those benefits. Now, Mars itself also is a karka or a significator for property. If it's placed in the 4th house, it will give you some really good property.
Mm.
So doctors, Sachin Tendulkar having Mars in the 7th house, doctors having Mars in the 4th house. Take Donald Trump, for instance. When I did my prediction for Donald Trump, his 9th lord, Mars, placed in the 1st house, right over there. 9th house for the fortune placed in him. It actually gives him the temperament to be a leader. And this is what allowed him to work 16, 17, 18 hours. It gave him that feisty energy. This is just prior to him getting elected, actually. So here you can see how Mars, when it's well placed, can do these things. So what does it mean? If people ask me, I say there is no such thing as Manglik Dosha to begin with. It is a
Okay.
load of nonsense.
Okay.
It is a load of crap that astrologers are perpetrating on people for two reasons. One, because they want to scare them. They want to make them vulnerable. And the thing they do when they make them vulnerable is to scam them out of their money.
So when you do you do horoscopes as well?
Yeah, of course. Really? I mean,
matching of.
oh, you mean matching? Yeah, of course I do. I
Yeah.
do.
So
I do.
then what do you see? Because a lot of the other people, they see that Manglik hai ya nahi hai, match ho raha hai ya
So
nahi ho raha hai.
I'll tell you this: when I look at a chart and I see Mars as a malefic, as a negative planet, functionally in your chart. Now, if it's placed in any of those houses, it will create disturbance. This has got nothing to do with
Dosha.
the dosha itself or whatever the astrologers have
okay, okay.
perpetrated on innocent people, right? The planet is negative, just like any other planet. If you've got a negative planet and it sits in the 4th house, your domestic happiness is going to be impaired. It's going to afflict your mom, right? If it's sitting in the 8th house and looks at your extension of family in the 2nd house, it'll affect your family. So in the 12th house, it's as a negative planet, it is going to do the same damage that other planets do. Now, Mars being a naturally malefic and a feisty planet, yeah, it's got a little bit of added tinge of negativity. But listen, I have given you numerous examples. Donald Trump, Donald Trump and Sachin Tendulkar. Look where they are. They're worldwide personalities. These guys are Mangliks. Well, I don't even use the term Manglik actually, because the whole thing is so concocted, and it is such a fear tactic that has been employed by astrologers, and shame on them for doing this. You know, I want these guys to come back and here, call into my radio show or come on my Facebook page and tell me and show me the scripture and the verses where it says any of this nonsense.
So do you think so they maybe thought about a thing that ये बहुत खराब planet है तो इस पे हम एक
Oh,
how it works.
absolutely.
It is making
Listen,
people look.
absolutely. Now take this whole Mercury retrograde nonsense, right? So I'm talking to astrologers and I'm talking in a panel and I'm like, okay, so tell me what is the connotation to it? Is it positive or is it negative? So this is what the Western astrologers are telling me. Well, in some cases it'll yield positive results, in some cases it'll yield negative results, and in some cases it'll yield mixed results. I'm like, what the hell is that supposed to even mean? I'm like, positive, negative, and mixed results. Listen, so take Mercury singularly. Retrograde itself means nothing. When the Earth is moving and a planet is stationary, it looks retrograde, as if it's going back. Literally, oh, so because Mercury is going back, or it seems, then all your communication is affected, your deals are affected, your speech is affected. I'm like, no. During the same Mercury retrograde period, where things are not going well for certain people, things are going perfectly well for other people. Is your speech impaired? Is anything? Listen, Mercury is my, Karta Dharta planet, or it's my Lagan Lord, whatever it is. Did I see any impact? Absolutely not.
What is Mercury in Hindi?
Budh.
Buddha.
Budh, it's also the planet for communication, speed, but it also represents your central nervous system and things like that. Is more important. So you look at Mercury singularly, you look at the ownership, you look at the Lord, you look at the placement in the natal chart, and then you look at the transit. You look at Mercury in the same aspect, just like how you look at Mars. Stop. I am imploring others to stop creating fear out of this Mercury retrograde, Manglik Dosha, and all of that. And listen, when you've got a negative planet, so let's go back to the Mars and the negative connotation to the Mars and certain house placement. When you've got a negative planet, then you do the same mantras singularly that you would do for Mars. And even if it's not in 1, 4, 7, 8, and 12 planet, you still pacify and you still placate a negative planet, just like you would do even for Jupiter, which could be a negative planet, right? Depending on its ownership and its sign and all of that in a natal chart. Jupiter, being such a benefic planet, can be a functional malefic.
Okay.
And it's very interesting because Jupiter, the way you placate it is, by taking care of revered seniors and teachers and gurus, because Brahaspat comes, like you say Thursdays, you say Brahaspat or Guruvar, which is Thursdays, and Brahaspat was also the teacher of the Devas. So that's why when you placate to teachers or you revere them or whatever, Jinka, or it's working against them. And you will see, so in a female's horoscope, you'll actually see when Jupiter is afflicted, there's a couple of things that happen. Their own personal relationship with the spouse is affected. Their marriages get delayed. So this is a common trait that you'll see with an affliction. I remember a lady from New York came up to me. I think I spoke about this example. And she came up to me, I still remember, she came up to me with the time of 2:21. I'm not going to give a birth date, but 2:21 a.m. And I looked at her chart and I said, listen, I am seeing, I know you're 45 plus, you never got married. I'm telling you, Jupiter is malefic for you. This is not your right time. She said, you're out of your mind. By the way, I get to hear that a lot, including you. Do you say that too? No, I'm not. No, you don't. You're always nice to me. All right, but I get that a lot. And she said, no, you're absolutely out of your mind. This is wrong. I'm telling you, this is what it is. I'm like, listen, go talk to your parents, pull up your date of birth certificate, whatever it is. She said, what do you think the time is? I said, listen, your time is after. And again, interestingly, her Lagan degree was just on the cusp, Lagan changing from Aries to Taurus. I said, you're a Taurus, Lagan at that point of time. She went back, and the time turned out to be 2:27.
Okay.
And she was totally blown away.
And you said it was going to be...
I said it was after 2:25 because the time is not 2:21. So some things you can look and it makes sense, right? It completely makes sense. So going back to the Manglik thing, I'm telling you that there is no such stuff. So I want people, and there's a reason why I'm recording this show, because I'm going to put it up on Facebook. By the way, I recorded you also.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yes,
okay.
you've got like a whole 5 seconds of coverage. Amazing. Look at all the coverage you're getting. The rest, the remaining 25 minutes and 30 seconds, they all belong to me. It's totally me. It's not about me though, right? But I think it's very important. It's imperative that I speak about this. I educate people. This is the whole idea why I've come out in the public eye. So I can educate people and get away from all these fallacies, the superstitions and all of those things. Now, even I believe Aishwarya Rai was asked,
Manglik, right?
well, she was told she's Manglik, and then I'm assuming she was told she was a Manglik Dosha.
Yeah.
She was asked to marry a tree.
Is that true? I just
Oh
got
my
asked
God,
that
it is so stupid and silly.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It is beyond stupid and silly, to be honest. I'm like,
You
really?
know, Gautam, you have to think of those people who just think, अरे पेड़ से तो करनी है ना, but life अच्छी हो जाएगी आगे.
Listen, this is the fear that they create.
Yeah.
This is the fear that they create. You know, I remember when I had done Virat Kohli's prediction, when I said he's going to get married at this time, or this month he's going to get married, which he did, by the way. I don't know if you've seen that prediction of mine.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you should. I did that 18 months in advance. And then after he got married, which is typical for all astrologers, right? They're going to come and start piling on. Okay, they'll start giving their opinions. Oh,
Yeah.
they should be emotionally connected to stay together. You know, they'll start coming up with gibberish nonsense like that.
They are not.
Well, this is what they'll say, right? The astrologers, they should do this. Virat should consider changing his name to Virat with 2 A's and Kohli with 3 H's and Kohli with 20 E's after that. I mean, this sort of nonsense is how they play and pry on people's fears and their weaknesses. So this is why I said, you know, the brother and sister came up to me and I said, you know what, I need to do a show and I'm going to blow the damn lid off this Manglik Dosha nonsense.
So if
You know.
so obviously our listeners, if they're listening, and if someone's thinking, oh, मैं मांगलिक हूँ, मेरी तो late होगी शादी.
No.
What do you think?
It's first of all, it's a fallacy. What I'm saying to them is, you look at Mars individually, singularly within your chart. Don't think that if you're a Manglik, all hell's going to break loose just because Mars is placed. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, if I were to look at a Cancer ascendant like Sachin Tendulkar with his 10th Lord Manglik, 10th Lord Mars placed in the 7th house and it's exalted, and he's a so-called. Heck, everybody wants that.
God, yeah.
You know, everybody wants to be that. I mean, it's given him courage. He's, you know, because to be a sportsman, you need to have courage. You've got a leather ball hurling at you at 100 miles an hour or whatever it is. So, you know, you need to have courage. You want that. And even if you look, a lot of these air chief admirals and the folks who are doing well in Navy, Army, Air Force, the pilots and all, they've got courage, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they've got strong Mars.
मैं तो बैठने के लिए courage चाहिए अंदर flight.
We got to check where your Mars is.
Yeah, you should. I'm like,
But listen, this is what I would tell them. I would say, look at Mars, and if you've got a benefic Mars sitting in 147, heck, I would take that any day of the week.
so first house.
First house is you yourself. It's going to make you full of courage. It's going to give you strength. Like if you look at Donald Trump, it's the Lord of the Fortune. Yeah, in his case, so it's strengthened by sitting in the first house, which is
He
amazing.
just lucked out, yeah.
Listen, he fulfilled his karmic duties. This is what I wrote. And December 2016, listen, I said the economy is going to shine under him. December 2016, I wrote that. I even said there's going to be slowdown. By the way, I did write, and somebody pointed that out to me, that I did write that his children are going to be dragged in a legal imbroglio, so to say. And recently I just heard they said that there was a subpoena, against Junior Trump.
Oh, really?
Don, yeah, there was a subpoena issued, so they kind of drag him exactly what I wrote.
It's so many that now I've lost all the count.
But I'll tell you, I did Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. I did Donald Trump versus Bernie Sanders. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. So all of this, you should come to my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/starsandastrology. Please come up to my YouTube channel. I made some very exciting videos. I've kept my videos really short because my whole idea is to keep it crisp and clear and all of those things. So I put those YouTube videos also over there, and people can see my predictions with my technical. I don't keep it more than 4 to 5 minutes, and some
Okay.
videos even 2 minutes.
Okay.
You know, just sharp, crisp technical analysis. So I want to keep it simple for people. So a lot of people do call in. They ask me, how do I reach out? And do you only do for celebrities? No, I don't do for celebrities. A lot of people who come to me from all over the world asking all sorts of questions, including I had a model from Pakistan reach out to me asking me if I could crack her boyfriend's Facebook password.
Maybe they thought you were a cybersecurity guy.
Probably for that. They said, oh, you've got a cybersecurity computer engineer and he's an astrologer.
Perfect combination.
That's a perfect combination. Let's see if we could, find if he can help crack my...
That is so weird.
I don't know if she said boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. I'm thinking it's probably more like ex-boyfriend, actually. But no, I don't do any of that stuff.
You're just making that clear.
Yes, I am. Do we have time? I know. Okay, let's take one call. I know they've been calling.
Hi, please
Hello.
आप रेडियो बंद कर देंगे? Hi,
Yes.
मैम जल्दी से बताएं क्योंकि हमारे पास बहुत कम टाइम बचा है जिसके बारे में पूछिए उनका डेट ऑफ बर्थ.
Okay.
इंदौरी. क्या क्वेश्चन है मैम आपका? कब तक मिलेगा जॉब?
No, I think, ma'am, you called me last time or the time before that too, right? Really? Okay, maybe the questions sound similar actually. Okay, so well, how long has he been searching? Not 1.5 years, is he? Yeah, see, I remember. Okay, well, the same things that I said last time too, right? That and one thing, is this time absolutely accurate? Okay, so do this. Reach out to me after the show because I got to wind up over here. I am so sorry. Reach out to me after the show. You've got my number. Go to starsandastrology.com. Contact me. You'll find my cell phone over there. So reach out to me over there. Starsandastrology.com. Sorry, I got to wind up quickly. All right, Isha, to you.
All right, thank you so much, Gautam, and I will see you next Monday. And you guys stay tuned and जाइए starsandastrology.com पे